Hello and welcome back to the 2022 United States Women's Disc Golf Championships presented by Innova Champion Disc. This is the final 9 of the entire tournament. It all comes down to this. We are coming to you from Madison, Wisconsin. My name is Paige Pierce.
And I'm Kona Panis.
And these scores we saw on the front 9 are smoking hot. We see Scoggins and Hailey King tied at 27 under par, as well as Valerie Mandujano from the chase card, smoking hot 7 under par through the front 9. And we have a 3-way tie, Kona.
3-way tie, and we still have Eveliina and Maria who are still trying to battle, putting the pressure on King still as we head into hole 10. Hole 10 is a par 3, 282 feet. We have 2 gaps right off the tee. We have a left gap, which is more of a hyzer flip backhand, or you can take the back or the right gap with a backhand and throw something more straight with a gentle left fade. And Paige, I'd love to see some of the players get the birdie on this hole.
Yeah, especially after the chase card has already completed this hole, if players are checking scores, they know that Valerie just got a bogey. So this opens the door for both Hailey King and Scoggins. Which one of them wants to become the outright leader?
We have Salonen with her Star Mako 3. Ooh, tracking the basket. She's going to end just inside the circle for her birdie putt.
Past the basket, actually. If it didn't hit that branch, I have to think it would have challenged the chains. King now with her MD3 up the right side gap, that slow, soft fading shot into the wood right by the basket. She is just about 10 feet away from a tap-in birdie. That puts the pressure on Scoggins.
And Scoggins pulling it a little bit right. She's going to be on the left side of the fairway, trying to scramble now to save par. She doesn't want to give up any more strokes to King.
Oliva up first, also from that left side, hitting the same tree as Scoggins from the tee. She gets herself just outside the circle with a dead straight putt right at the basket.
Scoggins from off the fairway, throwing her very overstable Star Destroyer.
Wow. Beautiful spiking shot right into that sandy green. It sticks perfectly just outside the bullseye. Ooh, and Oliva is on fire on this putting green. Dead center chains. And again, a stone cold reaction. It's like she knows she's going to make it.
Salonen with an unfortunate miss, just a bit low, but I know she wants those birdies.
Scoggins carting that par, minimizing the damage, but King can still get a stroke here, and she does, to move up to your outright leader at 28 under par.
Yeah, and hole 10 played as the second most difficult hole on the course. Almost 1/3 of the field took a bogey or worse.
Hole 11, this is a par 3, 309 feet. This plays more like 325. It's uphill ever so slightly, and it drifts just barely to the right. But honestly, if you throw it dead straight, you should only have about a 20 to 25 foot putt to the right. This hole is going to be important, especially considering the player on the chase card that we are keeping our eye on, Valerie Mandujano, has just carded the birdie to also move up to 28 under par.
King going with a very overstable driver, a Firebird. She's going to have a circle 2 putt.
Oliva with her Roadrunner, putting this out wide on an anhyzer, but unfortunately a little bit too wide. She clips the branches. It does penetrate through, but she leaves herself outside the circle for that birdie look.
Eveliina throwing a TL3, a very neutral driver. And she's past the basket pin high, and she's going to have a long circle 2 bid for her birdie.
Scoggins now with a destroyer. Look how much angle she puts on this, but it's still hyzering out. She's going to be left side green. The crowd goes crazy. She's smiling, but she has a lot of work yet to do.
King just a bit low on that one.
So carding the par there, she will stay tied with King, or King will stay tied with Mandujano for that lead.
And Oliva with another circle 2 putt.
Wow, she is killing it. We gotta see this Jomez. Dead center, perfect speed, right in the center of the chains, and that is what you want to see from someone who is looking to improve on their best major finish to date.
Scoggins just hitting a bit high. She's going to skip off the basket, leaving herself with a tester putt from off the fairway.
Yeah, and Scoggins at only about 5'1". She's straddling out just as far as she possibly can around that branch. She makes it, and that was absolutely a tester, Kona, and a great connection to stay within one of the lead.
Oh no, an unfortunate miss from Salonen, leaving her with a rollaway and a tester.
And just a little left. We're looking for that to be straighter out of her hand, less hyzer, and aiming at the same spot, or aim a little bit more right if you want to keep that hyzer putt.
On to hole 12, par 3, 309 feet. This does play a bit uphill, so you want to throw something a bit understable on a backhand so it drifts right and it doesn't come out left to the slope. We might see some forehands on this hole though, because we have an own Scoggins and an Eveliina Salonen and a Hailey King who throw huge forehands.
And Valerie Mandujano did just play this hole and took a par. So if either of these two competitors are able to card the birdie, Hailey King could jump up ahead another stroke, and or Scoggins could tie up with Hailey King.
And Oliva ending a bit left, that was drifting, and thankfully got a good kick back towards the basket.
King now with her T-bird 3, backhand, beautiful speed, low skipping shot. She was going to use that pine straw to skip up into the green. Hits a guardian tree, but she still circles edge on that left side.
Scoggins opting for the forehand flex with her Colossus, and she's going to get just to 15 feet inside the circle for her birdie. Oh, and Eveliina with that Star Mako 3, she throws so well.
Wow, what a drive from Eveliina. If that basket wasn't elevated, she would have hit the pin, even still, she's 10 feet away and should have an easy birdie.
And just a bit low from Oliva. We just saw her make a few beautiful putts, so she just needed to get that just an inch higher.
Oh, King just a bit right. And now Scoggins, the door is open. If you want to claim a share of the lead, we need you to hit this 15-foot putt and make it interesting for all of us watching.
And a great putt from Salonen, especially after we saw those woes on the last hole.
And there it is, Scoggins with a share of the lead at 28 under par, moving into hole 13.
Oh, it's getting spicy, Paige.
I love to see this battle, Kona, and I'm loving talking about disc golf with you.
Oh, dude,
We're just sharing the hype.
It's a blast.
Hole 13, par 3, 234 feet. This could be the hole that determines the winner. And I know that's a bold prediction, but look how many trees are on this fairway. If you hit an early tree, you could be struggling to save a bogey. So we need to see this gap hit. We need a par at worst.
Owen with a very overstable Star Destroyer, and she is hitting early. She's going to have a tough approach through all those trees.
Yeah, I mean, she's still got like 30 trees between her and the basket. It is a tight line.
Ooh, and a beautiful drive from Salonen. She's just hitting a late tree, but she does have a putt from C2.
Oh, Oliva, a little early out of her hand, but she kind of goes right over all those bushes in the clearing, and she's going to find herself a little bit outside of circle 2 and should be able to get an easy par there.
King with the croc, and oh, she hits very first available. She's going to have a very tough approach to the pin.
Yeah, even farther away from the pin than Scoggins, she will have to go first.
Whoa, and what a crazy line, Paige.
Super severe anhyzer release there with a stable disc. She gets that skid and she is just outside the bullseye. Can Scoggins replicate that shot? A little bit farther away, but still on the green for that par 3.
Salonen with a slow drifting forehand flex. Oh my gosh, and almost throwing it in.
A tiny bit more height, and that is going in the basket for a birdie 3. Beautiful shot.
Ooh, and Oliva giving it a great bid from circle 2. I thought we were about to see another slow miss.
Oh, Scoggins honestly kind of looked a little off balance. When she released, her left leg came through. She didn't foot fault. She caught herself, but it didn't look as stable as she usually is. And that's a rare mistake from Scoggins. Maybe it's the nerves. Maybe it's, the humidity. We never know as commentators, but we have to wonder.
Yeah, and now Scoggins loses the tie for the lead, and King is now your outright leader at 28 under par as we move into hole 14.
And again, Kona, that hole was the most difficult hole. And Valerie Manduhana went par on those last 2 holes. So Hailey King is your outright leader.
As we move into hole 14, par 3, 240 feet. There are a lot of trees right off this tee, and you need to hit this gap perfect or you're going to have another long approach similar to the hole we just played. Salonen opting for the Star AVR 3.
On the green, beautiful shot. She leaves herself 15 feet to the left. She may have to straddle from there, but it should be manageable.
Oliva looking like she wanted to throw a flex backhand because that's a very overstable putter. It's a Star AVR X3, and she didn't quite get on it. And this has been Hailey's workhorse, the Innova Invader. Oh, she's getting lucky, and she's getting down there, Paige.
That was not the intended gap. She missed that to the right, but it gets through every tree, and she's pin high inside the circle.
Oh, and Owen's hitting early. And it's not a super easy approach from over there. There is a lot to contend with. We'll see if Hailey can pick up a stroke or 2 on this hole.
And honestly, going with the shrike on that tee shot, she had to throw that so slow and controlled on a 240-foot downhill shot. It was pretty much bound to happen, that early release there.
And Oliva, are we about to see another? Oh, and
yes,
we are.
How many slow mezzes can we get, Oliva? This is only one tournament. What has she had? 7 of them? Congratulations to you, no matter what place you get. Watching that beautiful slow mezz is a work of art.
That's a work of art too. Hailey carting the at right now the only birdie. We'll see if Salonen can match that birdie as well.
Oh, just a tiny bit low. That tree, I think, was more in her way than we can really make out. She had to go with a wide straddle there and misses just a tiny bit low. So Scoggins will drop to 2 behind our leader in Hailey King, and we are moving on. Hole 15, this is a par 4, 390 feet, and this is a very gettable eagle. If you want to get spicy, you need to throw the backhand, and you want to throw a late flipping driver that is going to glide right into this gap you see right here. Even if you don't penetrate to the right, you can still hit about a 50-foot putt as long as you are straight off the fairway and at least 360 feet down.
King opting to throw a road runner. This is a very straight, glidey fairway driver.
And she gets herself a circle 2 look. This is absolutely stress-free birdie 3. That means we need Scoggins to get this birdie as well if she wants to even have hopes in catching King on the last couple holes.
And Paige, look at this drive.
Even better than King's. She's into circle 1 for the eagle.
Yeah, she's an eagle opportunity, and we've yet to see an eagle on this hole, Paige.
On the chase card, Valerie Manduhano, who is chasing the lead, did card the birdie. So she is moving up to within 1 of Hailey King. Hailey King is going to need this birdie 3.
Scoggins throwing what was looking like a great drive, but this is the miss that we usually see. Is it skipping left, and now you're going to have to pitch out with a forehand. Let's see if Maria can get up there, though.
Okay, she's on the green, and we've seen her hit so many putts like this already this round. Can she make another one?
Okay, Scoggins, she was in there, so like you said, she's very short, trying to get out with her forehand, and she's going to have an inside the circle putt for her birdie. Ooh, and King hitting a little early, but she will be inside circle.
But she's right on the front side of that tree, so she's going to have an unconventional stance. Oliva with another huge make, dead center. Oh, and that was absolutely necessary to stay within 2 strokes with 3 holes to play. If she misses that, it's game over. Great connection from Scoggins.
And a beautiful putt from Hailey, going to 30 under par for the tournament.
Salonen for eagle.
Oh, no.
We all wanted to see it, Kona. There was 3 eagles, though, on this hole today from Kat Murch, Stacy Ronsley, and Ella Hansen. It did play as the easiest hole on the day.
As we move into hole 16, par 3, 285 feet. This hole does play a little bit farther than it looks, and you're looking for something to go dead straight. You don't want it to flip too much. You don't want it to fade too much. You want it to be neutral, dead straight, with no skip.
King with honors, opting for an MD3. Can she get this mid-range far enough?
She's going to have some trees to contend with right in front of her. I'll be curious to see if she has to putt right through them.
Salonen clubbing up to a fairway driver. This seems more of the correct distance shot. She actually goes past the basket, just inside the circle though, and she has no trees between her and the basket. Oh, the Hawkeye's a speed 7, so it's a very slow fairway driver. I think this is a good speed choice for this hole, right in between the mid and the fairway. She finds herself just about pin high inside the circle. Scoggins, very important drive, leaves it low and left, and in the woods on the left there.
Knowing Own, she's going to try and find a way. But it looks like she's just trying to lay up to save her par.
Looks like a mid-range on a putting grip, trying to get that hyzer finish.
And she does just that, Paige.
Yeah, Kona, I have to wonder if it's too little too late there. She needs to make up a stroke and maybe even two if King hits this. Oh, she doesn't. That is very fortunate for Scoggins and Monduhano, who are chasing. But there's only 2 holes left and they're running out of time.
And Oliva right on line, just a tad bit low. Would have loved to see another slow mez. Oh, and Salonen's stroke looks really good, but it's just a tad bit left if she just aimed.
Oh. And you see her still holding that whale sack. And, you know, she talked about having issues in this humidity coming from Finland. She's used to playing in a lot cooler temperatures than this. And that is something you definitely have to adjust to coming to the United States in the summer. Hole 17, this is a par 4, 459 feet. This is a very easy hole to get the birdie on as long as you get to right here. You can get the eagle if you get clear on the left side, but birdie is what we are looking for. Anything that is neutral flying is going to be the key on this hole unless you're going for the eagle. And we did see Hailey King get the eagle on this hole yesterday. She grabs her destroyer, trying to do the same, and clips a tree on the right side.
Oliva with her Star Destroyer. I gotta believe that she wanted to put some anhyzer on that because that is fading left off the fairway.
Wow, almost pin high though. So much power from Oliva. Scoggins, this is your moment. If you want a chance to win this title, we need the birdie.
And that line's looking good. It just needs, get past. Okay. She might have a very tough approach over there.
Yeah, she's on the fairway, but there's so many trees between her and the basket. We'll see if she can create a line that gets her a clear look.
And a very similar shot to Oliva. A little early, not enough anhyzer.
Oh, early out of her hand, clips the first tree and ricochets way to the left.
King, and that kind of looked like a grip lock, Paige.
Yes, it did. And she's outside of the blue whiskers, which is about 70 feet from the pin. I have to assume she's going to take a par here. So if Scoggins can get up and down, she will move to within one of the lead. Oh, just a tiny bit undercommitted.
She had the gap, Paige.
She just needed to smack it, Kona. She wasn't enough.
Whoa.
There wasn't enough commitment there. She misses it early, and that is going to almost seal the deal without a major error from Hailey King on the last hole. Scoggins is out of it, and it's now become a 2-horse race between Monduhano and King. Monduhano just carded a birdie on hole 17.
Oliva with a great out with her Tour Series star AVRX3. She's going to save her par. Fortunately, King is just going to have a stress-free par going into hole 18.
Scoggins. Oh my gosh, did it hit the cage?
Yes.
Wow, from way deep, she almost had enough power to get it in there.
And she knows
that is the moment the dream ends.
What I love about Own, though, is she gives her 100% on every single shot.
And she's not going to give up on hole 18.
Nope.
That nod of the head is telling me, hey, I know it's over. But like you said, Kona, she is going to try to get this birdie with all of her heart. It's just when a player like King is just so accurate all weekend long, you can't expect her to get a bogey.
On to hole 18, the most important hole of the entire round. We have a straight downhill shot. The wind comes into play in this, so you got to check it, make sure it's not a left to right, and fix your disc selection. You want to throw downhill. You don't want to get it too high up, or it's going to make the disc hyzer out left. I'm curious to see what the ladies are throwing on this. I've seen a lot of different disc selections. Can Hailey King close it out?
Yeah, and chase card up ahead, Valerie Monduhano hits a huge putt for 2. Hailey King needs to get this par to win the tournament. Otherwise, we will see extra holes.
And I gotta believe Hailey's just gonna lay up from their Paige.
Yes, I hope her layup is good enough, though. That is about 90 feet away from the basket, and with all the nerves, look at this huge crowd down there looking and anticipating who is going to be the winner. Nerves can get in the way. If she leaves herself a tester, we could see something crazy.
Whoa, and Oliva showing off some distance here on hole 18, almost going into the crowd.
Scoggins looking for a podium spot. We need to see a huge drive from her.
And she gets over on that Star Destroyer, and this is looking like a great line towards the pin. She's going to have a long putt for her podium finish.
Salonen with her champion Thunderbird. I like the disc choice. A little bit wider would have been the shot she wanted. It filters out a little bit too early. She's going to be about 60 feet away for the birdie 2.
Oliva trying to throw this one in.
Oh my gosh. What a good bid. Oliva, what a great tournament. It was a privilege to watch and commentate on her play. 3 out of the 4 rounds on the lead card. She is significantly improving her best finish to date.
And King laying it up. Oh, Salonen giving it a great bid on 18, no fear.
And with King's layup being so perfect, you know, it's never over till it's over. But it should be an easy win for her at this point.
And like we talked about on 17, Owen was going to give it her all until the very end. And she put on a show for us today, Paige.
Yes, she did. She bows to the crowd. She thanks them. And she is going to card a podium at an FPO championship. She's a former 40 and over world champion. She's going to try to go for that title again in just 2 weeks. And this is going to be a huge confidence boost going into that tournament. And here you have it, your first-time major champion, Hailey King, a Wisconsinite coming home. Her dad's here, her family's here, and what a beautiful moment. All of her competitors are congratulating her, and she is in disbelief.
Your 2022 PDGA United States followed by Oliva in your FPO category, Hailey King.
I'm not good with words. It means the world to me. Yeah.
I'll talk for you for just a moment, Hailey, because when I met you, it was 6 years ago. You came and played in a C tier here in Wisconsin. Of course you won that. Then you went on and dominated 6 other divisions that year, and the next year you were already playing professional. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it because you've been a very special competitor from day number 1. What is it like winning here in your home state with so many people around?
It feels amazing. Just what you just said, to play one of my first AM events here and to win my first major here just means the world. I want to give a huge shout out to my Grandma Jane and my Grandma Claire that are watching back home, and to my siblings. I finally did it, and thank you everyone for the support. Shout out to Innova. It was huge to have them sponsoring me this year and just continuously pushing me. This wouldn't have been doable without them, so just thanks to everyone. Having Maria play on the card every day, almost every day, and then Owen and Eveliina, it just, we were all shooting so hot and we just kept each other pushing. I definitely had a lot of momentum, but I just tried to, whatever I did, I just tried to make sure that I just kept the thought that this is the first round, that there's more rounds to do, and it worked.
Wow, we got KP up in the booth crying a little bit.
You got me emotional,
An emotional
King.
story from King. This is her first podium of the year. And we also have to talk about Valerie Monduhano shooting a smoking hot 9 under par. This is her 6th podium of the year, but her best major championship to date. 2nd place.
2nd place, Paige, and she actually went into the round talking with Mason Ford, her fiance, that she wanted to shoot a 12 down. That was the score she was going for.
Pretty close. 9 under is very close, but it didn't have enough momentum to catch Hailey, who actually didn't even know the scores until hole 18. And the most surprising stat that I've read, Kona, is that she didn't lead any UDISC stat and still won the tournament.
And for first place, she got $7K. There was $56K, one of the biggest payouts for a U.S. women's in history. And man, there was 19 divisions, 318 women, and I'm so stoked, Paige.
I cannot wait to see Hailey's reignited fire. I know this was only her 6th event of the year, but I hope she will be at many more to go throughout the year after this title. Thank you so much to the Founders Club. We want to thank you, Patreon, so much for making this happen. This was honestly such a privilege, Kona.
Such a privilege. We just got to watch some of the best women's disc golf in history at one of the largest women's disc golf events.
So make sure you guys match those views. Let's make this the most viewed women's coverage of all time. Thank you guys so much. It was an absolute honor. I cannot wait till the next time we are on JomezPro.